Hello, my fellow soul gardeners. Happy LoveFest Day. I love you. If you don't know, I'm Christopher Witecki, and I'm just reporting in for the new year. It's 2013, and today is LoveFest Day, the most powerful day of the month to give and receive love. That's because the moon, our emotional agent, will cross over Venus, the giving and receiving agent of the universe. This is basically two streams of consciousness that make love, emotions and giving and receiving. So when we give and receive with our emotions, we love. Why do we love? Because that is the actual currency of the universe. If you are feeling hate or anger or despair or regret today, there could be a number of issues going on in your soul that I'll kind of get into in this video. Before I dive into the astrology of the day, I just want to say this video is going to cover a little bit of what the Sun in Capricorn is, LoveFest Day, and where we're going. And at the end of the video, I'll give you some notes on where Soul Garden is going and where the horoscopes will be online, etc. All right? Coming soon. But first, let's talk LoveFest Day. Now, today on LoveFest Day, it's not just an average LoveFest Day. It's the first LoveFest Day of the year. It's the first LoveFest Day of the new age. We are officially transitioning into the new age. This began on December 21st, 2012, yada, yada, yada. That's becoming cliche now. And it's now ending today on LoveFest Day as far as the transition is concerned. The sun is talking to the moon saying, it is time to allow our feelings to rule us. So today, your emotions will be the most powerful state of awareness. Your mind will be weaker. Your defenses will be weaker. Other things will be weaker. Weaker meaning having less energy, right? That's it. But love and emotion will have the most energy. So the first beta test of today is, do you feel the love? If you don't feel the love today, then you may have an issue with your constitution. Now, Capricorn is our constitution, the rules and the laws that govern us. Basically, it's the summary of all the decisions we've ever made. So, spirit will run according to your past decisions. This is why it's very important to be clear when we're making decisions or not making decisions. So, if you're not feeling the love today, there could be something wrong with the constitution of yourself. And I got to just tell you right now, don't blame society, don't blame your family, don't blame anyone. You are the ruler of your own universe. And so if love is not coming through your life right now, it's because your laws don't let you. All right? Now you may be saying, well, I have to work. Says who? Well, I have to do this. Says who? Well, I have to pay the bills. Yeah, we know you have to pay the bills, but do you have to not enjoy it? That's really the big question. So the first thing I want to say is on LoveFest Day, tell everybody you love that you love them. This is the most powerful day of the month to give and receive love. And you know, this whole universe really uses love as its currency. So giving and receiving love today is basically going to market with the world. You're going to market, you're loving, you're reaffirming your connections, you're reaffirming your power. That's the first thing. If you're not feeling the love, well then perhaps the rules and laws in your life aren't allowing you to feel the love. That's possible. You have to really look at that. And you have to understand that, in essence, the mantra of this LoveFest Day is, I decide by love. In fact, that's the mantra of the new age. All decisions must be based on love. Not based on balancing the budget, not based on getting what we want, not based on getting there on time. Every decision in your life must be love-based if you want to call yourself an ascended being, all right? Because in the ascension, it is all about love as a currency and not money or camels or cows or anything else as a currency. Love is the new currency of the new age. So the question today is, can you give and receive love in the new currency? Does your constitution allow this to happen according to the laws and rules? And whose constitution are you living by anyways? Yours or someone else's? That's the first thing I want to point out. One interesting that's going to happen here in the next 36 hours is the moon is awakening the new rules that you have spent up until now developing. And I say from Christmas Day until now, you have had an opportunity to re-examine your rules, re-examine what you allow to control you, re-examine what your decisions are. All of these things have been re-examined. Doesn't matter what sign you are, you're re-examining your rules. Now, signs use a different part of their life to control their life. So, for instance, Capricorns use their ego to control their life. Cancers, the opposite, use their relationships and marriages to control their life. And so, wherever you happen to lie, yes, there'll be a place where it affects your life. But it still comes down to control and how you control or sculpt your reality. So, in the next 36 hours, if you're feeling the love at this point, then you're going to keep just carrying that love through to every decision, every part of your control in your life. Control over your bathtub's temperature at night, control over your ability to tie your shoes. I mean, really, it doesn't matter how you apply it. I bring up all these examples because if you feel out of control somewhere, this applies. All right. If you are overly controlling of others, this applies. So in the next 36 hours, you'll take this feeling of love right now, and you'll start to see it spread through your life until the moon crosses Pluto, at which point you will finally feel that the old life is dead and the new life has begun. So ding dong, the witch is dead when the moon crosses Pluto. For those of you who are watched over by the Guardian Agency, we will be sending out Witecks just prior and after the moon's crossing in Pluto. This theoretically is the new year, the moon crossing Pluto, and the new millennium. So it began on December 21st. It ends when the moon crosses Pluto. Pluto will be moving to 10 degrees any second now, which means we'll be officially entering in a new era. I talked about this in the past. I talked about this with David in my interview with David. It's like democracy is dead as we know it, and there's going to be a new love-based democracy that is beginning to be born already by organizations like myself and others. We're already just live based on love. The other thing that's important for you to know is that your mind is behind, okay? Your mind will think things are crazy. Your mind might argue with you. Your mind has been programmed to an age where you're only worth what you can put out in beans or in horoscopes or whatever. You know, your mind is programmed still, according to planets, to the old age. And so at this point, expect your mind to be behind. You know why this is important for you to know? Because feelings are what life is really about, not your mind. Remember, your mind is like what do they call those things? An Etch-a-Sketch. Anything your mind comes up with, you can shake out the dust and get rid of it immediately. We can't embrace our thoughts too long because they don't do anything for us in the end. They're just in the moment. Emotions, however, and feelings last forever. The whole universe is based on passion and emotion. So your mind may think you're crazy. Your people may think you're crazy. It is crazy because it is outside the operating system of the way it was programmed. So expect your mind to be behind. Just tell your mind to shut up. That's what I always say to my mind. Remember, your mind is a smartass that works for the heart. Okay? All right. So the other point I want to bring up is this trine going on between Saturn and Neptune at 1 degree. What this means is you just spent since Halloween the eradication of emotional boundaries that don't serve you. That could be like, I never stick up for myself at the supermarket, or I always let this happen, or I really need to be stronger with myself when it comes to avoiding cupcakes. You know, whatever those new boundaries are for you in your life, and every sign had them play out somewhere else, wherever those boundaries are, it is time to be stubborn and dig in your hooves, so to speak. All right? Not only be stubborn, but from that point, listen to your intuition, says the trine to Neptune. Listen to your gut. So, for instance, if you are trying to draw an emotional boundary to not let your ex-husband get to you, all right, well, I know I'm not supposed to let him get to me. I know I'm not supposed to go there anymore or let myself get upset. But what do I do now? Ask your intuition. Neptune in 1 degree is the upgrading of our psychic ability. This is the first time it's happened since the 1840s. So every psychic on Earth, Sylvia Browne and everyone, is going to get more psychic. And every human being is going to get psychic. Now, we're always psychic. We're talking about awareness of our psychic ability, which will come across as like luck, or a little birdie told you, or being at the right place at the right time. So you expect all these things to happen. But the Saturn-Neptune trine is basically saying, hold those new emotional boundaries. Make sure you don't allow the old boundaries to happen the way they used to. And when you're confused, listen to your gut, or frankly, pray or ask God. You know, to dumb it down, go into prayer. All right, listen, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to the metaphors. The other thing I want to point out that's important too is we've got a gnarly square going on between Uranus and Aries and the moon, which is crossing through these new LoveFest rules and constitution. The square means that your ego is going to get in the way. Now remember, the ego is the dumbass that works for the heart. We've got a dumbass that works for the heart, the ego. We've got a smartass that works for the heart, okay? Everyone works for the heart. The heart is the king or queen of the soul, period. That's the way God universe created it. So if you want to get out of it, go ahead. You're just going to feel really weird at this party. But the square means that your ego is going to get in the way. You're going to want to be strong, want to be tough, want to show them. But Uranus at 4 degrees direct says our egos are wrong, and the dumbass needs to be reprogrammed just like the smartass needs to be reprogrammed. So expect ego conflicts within you, and expect your ego to be told to stand down. Stand down, ego. I know you usually make that fight with the ex-husband, but stand down. Okay? We will choose to fight another day, but today is not the day. And do not fight with yourself. You know what? That army, aka ego, aka charisma, that army will be available to fight any day of the week. You don't have to win this battle okay, to win the war. In fact, the new reality is, what war? All right? So expect ego conflicts with yourself and maybe others. And if you want advice on how to rise above your ego conflicts, your heart, okay? Your ego may want to kick the shit out of them, but your heart really doesn't. And so as long as you just tell your ego who's in charge and tell your mind who's in charge, you won't have these conflicts. You have the power to tell your soul how you want to light cast your reality, and really ego might get in the way with that square. Fears may come up, but I'm afraid I'll lose the job, or I'm afraid this will happen. Who cares what you're afraid of? Until you actually lose the job, that's when you need the ego, all right? We don't need the ego to prevent. We need the ego to act on what we want, okay? Prevention is the heart, not the ego. So if you're afraid of something, go to the heart, okay? And if we get attacked, that's when you call in the dumbass, the ego, to do the job. The last thing I want to stress, and can't stress enough, are your thoughts. Jupiter retrograde at 7 degrees 0 minutes says that your mind must be aligned with your intuition and nothing else. Do not think about the way it's been done. Do not pull up psychology. Do not pull up facts. It's all moot at this point. Remember, the mind needs to be reprogrammed, so why are we listening to it anyways? The reprogramming of the mind will come from your intuition, Neptune. So in other words, little spurts of inspiration, like, hey, I just had a crazy idea. Now, if you just said, hey, I had a crazy idea, you're probably right on it. How do I know that? Because you just had it, which means it was inspired. It's crazy, which means it goes against the old programming. That's probably the direction you want to go. Keep your mind listening for that unusual idea, that out-of-the-box kind of concept, something you've never thought of before. Aha, now you're on to it. Something you thought of before in the past, probably not going to be where you're going in the future. So keep the mind on the intuition. And there's one more point I want to make, which is Mars and Aquarius. And what that's basically saying is we're about to move forward when the sun goes into Aquarius with the new reality, the new building of the age of Aquarius. And it will take 300 years to build it, so don't get too excited. However, it does mean that it's time to move forward with your life's innovation. Move forward. If you have an innovative idea about fixing the house or fixing your family or changing the world, now is the time, says Mars. And in a lot of cases, we can kind of ignore the dumbass, our ego, or we can ignore the smartass, our mind, when we are on some sort of course for, Aquarius, which is individuality, freedom, So moving forward with these courses of individuality, freedom, uniqueness, and identity, this will keep you moving along. This will be the drink that you wanted, or this will be the hope that you wanted. You will be inspired by the actions to change your life. So Mars is there to help you change it. Okay, and then one last thing, I just want to talk about Soul Garden and where we're going. We are relaunching Soul Garden for 2013 on Fun Day Sunday, which is going to be the 20th of this month. It's going to be Love Boat Week. We're going to pretend we're on a Love Boat cruise, because we intend to take a cruise 1 year from now. We're going to co-create and co-manifest that together. So come down to Fun Day Sunday on the weekend of the 20th, and you'll see us all light up. Horoscopes are in production, as are Act 1s, okay? So we'll put those out to you as soon as we can. I am making no more promises to people about when things come out, okay? Because I'm moving at the speed of light and love, and that does not line up with human clocks whatsoever. And I'm not, in this year from now on, once I'm in a course, though, I don't want you to think I'm not going to be reliable. The truth is we're trying to get started in this whole new realm. So once it's started and it's going forward, things will continue and not stop. But I'm not going to pull that switch until everything's ready, because I am tired of being on a gerbil train trying to keep up with my own promises. I just can't do that. I'm going to under-promise and over-deliver in 2013, and you're hearing it right now. So my under-promise is, I don't know when the horoscopes will be up, but I do know that our staff and volunteers are ready on Fun Day Sunday for the 20th. So I encourage you to come down and be a part of that. Our guided hangouts with all of our amazing Soulmart practitioners begin on Monday next week. And so I encourage you to come down. For those of you who are saying you miss me, if those of you are saying you need some extra help, we have a staff of amazing people that show up every day for you on Google Plus and at the mothership. So come on down, be a part of it. Don't talk about it, walk about it. Come and be a part of this. That's something that is an open invitation. I can't say it enough. And then lastly, we are looking for some staff positions here as we move into 2013. If you'd like to be a volunteer and part of our leadership team on this team of light, currently we are casting a Capricorn, a Leo, and a Virgo, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, all three. as what we called Zodiac Directors, but they're now Guardian Agents, and you must be willing to be on webcam. If you're interested in that, come on down the garden. Find Mimi Clark, find Jenny Watson, okay? These are some huge executives in our park, and ask about it. Reach out. We're a very friendly community. We're a smiley bunch, as I like to say. We're here for you, and we're gearing up for this next year. It's going to be an exciting year. The last announcement I'll make, and I'll be putting out another video, is every year Soul Garden has a summit somewhere. We've done it at my house. We've done it at a friend's house. It's once a year. We invite everyone in the world to come hang out in one place. I'm just going to tell you right now, we're looking at the spring this year, the late spring of 2013, and we have pegged Disney World, Florida. So the Soul Garden staff will be in Disney World, Florida, probably in April. I'll be telling you specifically, but I'm letting you know right now. It won't be on spring break. It would be after. But save your pennies. If you would like to come on some cool rides with me, if you would like to summit with us and talk spirituality, we will be gathering the entire Soul Garden family at Disney World in Florida. And we chose that because Walt Disney is the king of serious joy. This is the man that created an entire entertainment enterprise off of the happiness on earth. And so I thought we would start this year of serious joy with one of my masters, Mr. Walt Disney. So we're going to go there, look at his vision, look at his Epcot vision, and talk about our envisioning of where we're going to take his work and others forward. And our work and our goal is to create serious joy. All right, that's all I have for this little moment. I will see you when the horoscopes are up, or you might catch me in one of these guided hangouts. In fact, I might even host one. Just saying. And remember, I love you. Happy LoveFest Day, and I'll see you next time. Live, love, be.